Overruling by Judge Matthew McCall, Guantanamo Bay Prison, the trial itself will not continue because there's not going to be any trial because there'll be a plea deal ultimately. Earlier, about 3 months ago, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin overruled Matthew McCall's plea deal along with the prosecution and the defendants' lawyers, which made a plea deal to take the death penalty off the table. Austin overruled that and said that that plea deal is no longer in play. But McCall basically overruled Austin and recently just said that the plea deals will continue. The only person not involved in the trial or in the plea deal itself is Amr al-Baluchi, Abdulaziz Ali, who is the nephew of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Let's read the article itself. It's breaking news, by the way, huge in the light of the fraud election that we got. I say fraud because I think all elections are fraud anyway. Military judges ruled that plea agreements struck by alleged 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and two co-defendants are valid, voiding an order by Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin throughout the deal, a government official said Wednesday. The official spoke on conditions of anonymity because the order by the judge, Air Force Colonel Matthew McCall, is not yet posted publicly or officially announced. Unless government prosecutors or others attempt to challenge the plea deals again, McCall's ruling means that the three 9/11 defendants before long could enter guilty pleas in the U.S. military courtroom in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, taking a dramatic step forward, wrapping up the long-running and legal trouble government prosecution, one of the deadly attacks in the United States. And I gave my 2 cents regarding this. I think this is a no-win situation for everybody. 9/11 victims' families, some of them actually want this plea deal. Some of them didn't. They're torn between two camps. I say it's a no-win situation because at least with the promise of a trial, we'll get to see what the government have and didn't have. Now, with a plea deal, we'll never know what the government didn't have or had many years to come because the information will be classified or the information didn't exist in the first place. We'll never know. So it's all about believing and knowing. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe that they're guilty. You can believe that they're innocent, but you'll never know it. It's all about knowledge. I'm very big on this. May seem I'm repetitive, but knowledge is power. Information is power, and power belongs in the hands of the people. And this is the reason why you're confused, manipulated, taken advantage of mentally by government institutions and the media who want nothing more than you to believe them and know nothing of significance, that is. Plea agreements which spared Mohammed and two men, Wali bin Attash, also known as Khalid, and Mustafa al-Hawsawi, the risk of the death penalty in exchange for the guilty pleas. Now, remember, Ramzi bin al-Shib was deemed mentally incompetent, and Amr al-Baluchi is not part of the plea deal. And you could see my interview of oh my God, I'm going to forget her name. The lawyer for one of the co-counsel for Amr al-Baluchi. And my goodness, my memory is shot, so please forgive me. I had that a lot in my mind lately. Government prosecutors have negated the deals with defense attorneys under government auspices, and the top official for the military commission at the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base had approved the agreements. Plea deals in the September 11 al-Qaeda attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people spurred immediate political blowback by Republican lawmakers and others after they were made public this summer. Within days, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin issued a brief order saying he would nullify them. Plea bargains and possible death penalty cases tied to one of the gravest crimes ever carried out on U.S. soil were a momentous step that should only be decided by the Defense Secretary, Austin said at the time. The agreements in Austin's attempt to reverse them have made for one of the most fraught episodes in U.S. prosecution marked by delays and legal difficulties. That includes years of ongoing pretrial hearing to determine the admissibility of statements by the defendants, given their years of torture in CIA custody. That's the reason why there's no trial. Because even if they told the truth, like I said before, if they told the truth, how can you believe them? Because they were tortured. Again, it's a matter of belief and knowledge. So, I mean, Do I think they're guilty? Yeah, I think they planned, 9/11. I think they planned the part, but I think the American government and foreign intelligence got wind of the plot. And that certain elements of foreign intelligence didn't tell the Americans about the plot, about the details, the minutiae, when, where, and what time, what planes, because Saudi Arabia and Israel gained to benefit from these attacks because the United States would attack who? Iraq, Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Somalia, but not the countries that were directly involved, like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. Pentagon was reviewing the judge's decision, had no media further comments, said Major General Pat Ryder, Pentagon press secretary. The New York Times first reported the ruling. That's Carol Rosenberg, the best in the business, just the best. Military officials have yet to post the judge's decision on the Guantanamo Military Commission's online site. However, a legal blog that has long covered the prosecution for Guantanamo courtroom said McCall's 29-page ruling concludes that Austin lacked the legal authority to toss out the plea deals. The ruling also calls the time to Austin moves fatally, coming after Guantanamo's top official already had proved the deals, according to the blog called Lloyd Dragon. Now, Lloyd Dragon and Florida Bulldog have been the best in the business regarding 9/11 updates on Saudi Arabia 9/11 complicity, the best. For me, it's Florida Bulldog and Dan Christensen and Anthony Summers and Robin Swan. They're the best in the country. While families of some of the victims and others are adamant about the 9/11 prosecution continue until trial and possible death sentence, legal experts say it's not clear that could ever happen. And the reason why it can't happen because the CIA tortured these people. So it's inadmissible. I mean, their own lawyers are basically salivating, saying, let's go to trial. We'll get it thrown out, which would be a complete disaster. Imagine them walking off. Found not guilty. Imagine it. The issues include the CIA destruction of videos of interrogations, thanks Jose Rodriguez, who throughout all the confession torture tapes of Abu Zubaydah, the first person captured, who had nothing to do with 9/11, or was part of Al-Qaeda, according to the CIA in 2006 in the Guantanamo Trial Tribune hearing. Nothing to do with Al-Qaeda, nothing to do with 9/11. Yet he's a forever detainee in Guantanamo Bay, held without charge, without trial. Thank you, Patriot Act. Thank you to the White House legal counsel, like Alberto Gonzalez, John Yoo, David Attenborough. These are the people that circumvented the Geneva Convention for foreign combatants. And yet, Abu Zubaydah was not a combatant. He's not a terrorist. Why is he languishing in prison? For nothing. Whether Austin's plea deal reversal, constitutional lawful interference, and whether the torture of the men tainted subsequent investigations by clean teams of FBI agents that did not involve violence. But yet, it came to my attention that the FBI did not participate in physical torture of these people. That was the CIA, but yet they knew about the CIA giving torture because the CIA asked the FBI to give them the questions needed to get the information out of these people. The FBI was indirectly involved. I mean, it just seems that there's more bad news whenever you talk about 9/11. This is the reason why I barely have any hair left on my head, and why I'm all stressed out over the last couple of years regarding what's been going on with the trial itself and the sham, the farce of justice that we call at Guantanamo, nothing short of a failure of the human condition, of morality, of law, justice. It's not in Guantanamo Bay. And I think it's high time that the American people start talking about this issue again. I mean, it's a dying story. And, I've heard from friends of mine say, it's 24 years past, 23 years past, and people have gone on. And I'm still going to report the news, no matter what. This is my field of expertise. I studied it for 17 years, and I'm in it for the long run. And whenever there's updated news, whenever there's information that's not known to the public or not reported to the public in an honest fashion, I'll be there to report it to you without prejudice, without bias. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. See you in the next video, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend.